Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us for the Montana Out of the Darkness experience. I'm Katie Levine, Area Director, and your MC for today. As we are live, and we never know what will happen, I appreciate your patience if any glitches or issues happen as we go. So if you would please let us know in the comments where everyone is joining us from today. All right, well, to start our program, we would like to share with you a message from AFSP's CEO, Bob Gebbia.
I'm Bob Gebbia, CEO of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and it's an honor for me to welcome you to the Out of the Darkness experience. A heartfelt thanks goes to all of you, our amazing friends and supporters, for participating in this event and for raising awareness and funds for suicide prevention. Now, clearly, much has changed since last year's Out of the Darkness community walk. It's a challenging time. And on behalf of all of us at AFSP, our thoughts are with you and your families during this pandemic. We hope you are staying safe and healthy. And I can assure you the pandemic has not deterred AFSP from its work. We've adapted our life-saving programs, delivering them virtually, wherever and whenever possible, including Talk Saves Lives, our most used public education program. From the start of the pandemic, AFSP has been a leading voice about caring for one's mental health, using traditional and social media to convey messages about self-care, that physical distancing doesn't mean social isolation, and about staying in treatment or seeking treatment through telemental health. Now, we continue to make progress across all areas of our work. Our investment in research has continued with 38 new studies funded since the start of the pandemic. We reached 1 million people during May Mental Health Month with our #RealConvo campaign. And in June, we launched new Seize the Awkward public service ads to empower teens and young adults to help a friend who is struggling. We held 38 state advocacy days since last fall, and the first ever virtual federal advocacy, where we had 1,400 participants from 50 states contact their members of Congress to support improved crisis services for people in emotional distress. And as an organization, we are speaking out about the inequities in access to mental health care, in particular for communities of color, and we continue to advocate for ending all health care disparities. Our interactive screening program continues to be used in schools and workplaces, giving people a safe and anonymous way to reach out for support. Since the start of the program, we've connected over 180,000 people to help they would not have otherwise sought. And when suicide does occur, AFSP is there to support the families and friends with programs and resources. This year alone, we will host more than 400 International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day events to offer comfort and support. None of this work would be possible without all of you and hundreds of thousands of others. We need you to be involved because our work is more critical than ever. Based on the latest CDC data, the suicide rate in the U.S. continues to trend up. And we are concerned that the isolation and grief and economic impact of the pandemic could contribute to further loss of life from suicide. But we believe an increase in suicide isn't inevitable. And with greater investment in mental health care and suicide prevention now, we can avert any increase and save many lives. Your participation in this event is lifting up those who struggle with thoughts of suicide, and you are remembering loved ones who we've lost, sons and daughters, siblings and parents, spouses, partners, and friends. The involvement of each of you is so critical to our mission of saving lives and bringing hope to those affected by suicide. Everything AFSP is doing is a direct result of your willingness to get involved. I hope you will stay involved. Because of you, we are able to fight for a day when no one will die by suicide. I look forward to seeing you all in person at an event sometime in the future. But until then, thank you and stay safe.
We appreciate Bob for sharing this message with us. I'd now like to introduce Dory Wilmoth, Chapter Chair of the Montana Chapter and Chair of the Butte Out of the Darkness Walk.
Thanks, Katie. Thank you everyone for being here today. My name is Dory and I'm joining from my home office here in Butte. By joining us today, you're furthering the message that our cause of suicide prevention will never be canceled because it can't be until we've eradicated suicide. Every day that goes by, we devote to spreading the message that mental health is as real as physical health. You're showing others that suicide, which is currently the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S., can no longer be ignored. Suicide is a health issue that affects us all. You are part of a national movement, and today you are also showing that we do not need to be together in person to raise our voices to prevent suicide. Today is a day to reflect, to remember those we've lost, to stand with those with lived experience, and to raise awareness and funds for suicide prevention. We thank those of you who are here to support someone who struggles or has lost a loved one to suicide, and those of you who are here because you have lived experience yourselves with these issues. Our voices together are changing the way we talk about suicide prevention and mental health in our country. One of the most important pieces of the Out of the Darkness events is the opportunity to share a bit of our stories, and the next speaker does this mightily. It's my pleasure to introduce Des Gravel. Des grew up in Kalispell with her parents, brother, and sister. She currently lives in River Falls, Wisconsin, right outside of Minneapolis, with her husband and 2 kids, but enjoys any opportunity to get home to visit the family. Des works in both radio and TV in Minneapolis. Over the years, she has participated in many walks and has hosted events to help raise awareness for suicide prevention. Please welcome Des Gravel.
I'm going to tell you about my brother Dustin Gravel. He was born really early. He was like 6 weeks early. He was only like 3.5 pounds. And he was just a little fighter from the get-go. White blonde hair, super rambunctious, the cutest kid around. Never would I thought, fast forward 18 years later, February 5th of 2005, that my brother would take his own life. That is a phone call I will never forget getting. That's just the day that shook my world, my family's world. It changed everything. And I know a lot of you can relate to that. I thought, how could this happen to us? How could he do this? There are just so many questions around suicide. How can a bright, funny, athletic, full of life kid take his own life? But what's strange is that after I started talking to people more about this, I can't believe the amount of people that said, well, I've thought about that. I've thought about suicide in my life. And I knew then that once I got out of the fog of losing somebody I loved so much, I wanted to do something. I wanted people to talk about this disgusting word, this word that has a stigma, this word that seems shameful, seems secretive, the word suicide, a word I never thought would be in my family's lives, ever. But we can't sweep things under the rug, and a lot has changed since 2005, and more people are talking about it, thank God, and it's because of things like this, people out walking and raising awareness and raising money, so people will talk about suicide and prevention and talk about mental health. It's so important. I want people to know that it is okay to not be okay. And it's okay, and there's no shame in asking for help. We all need it sometimes. I wish my brother would have known that. No matter where you are, where you come from, what you're doing, no matter what the problem is, you are loved. You are needed. You're needed more than you'd ever know. And I bet like me, you wish that you could just tell the person you love that right now, right? It's okay to not be okay. Still to this day, when I see sunshine just out there shining, I think of my brother. I'm pretty sure it was my mom that called him her sunshine boy. He had the best hugs. He had the funniest laugh and the biggest smile that would make you smile every single time. I love my little brother so much. And I'm proud to be a sister. And I am proud that I named my daughter, who's 5 now, Dusty, after her uncle Dustin. What I don't want is for any other families to go through this, any other people to feel like he did. And I'm so happy we're together and we're doing this and we're supporting each other. I am really proud of my family and all of our friends. It took a long time for my parents to be able to share their story. You know, they lost their son. But this year is their second year being part of this walk. And Team Red Rock was one of the biggest fundraising teams in the state of Montana. So proud of you, Mom and Dad, Orlin and Vicky. I'm so proud of you, April. It's such a great thing that you're doing. I'm so proud of all of you for being here and showing up and supporting each other. It's what we need to do, right? Nobody else should be lost from that word that we wish wasn't part of our lives. That word we don't like to say. The word that is suicide. I'm so proud of you, survivors, and people are still standing here today, and we are making a difference together. So you know what? When you see sunshine, whether it's today, tomorrow, in a week, let's all think about the people that we love and the people that are in our hearts forever and ever. The moms, the dads, the grandmas, the grandpas, the sisters, the brothers, the aunts and uncles, your friends, the people that we have lost. And remember, you are loved and you are needed. And the icing on the cake is today is October 3rd. And that's my little brother's birthday.
Thank you, Des, for openly sharing your experience and strength with us. We'd like to now start our honor beads ceremony, which will look a little bit different this year. Honor beads are a way for us to pay tribute to a lost loved one, a personal struggle, or a victory. They come in many colors, representing the diversity of our community's connection to the cause. I'd like to thank our participants who came out to our various meetup events throughout September for your photos and videos of why you wear your beads.
My name is Nathan Lightfoot, and I'm wearing orange beads because I lost my sister to suicide.
My name is Becca Callum. I wear orange beads in honor of my brother Zach, who died by suicide September 16th, 2011.
We wear purple for our cousin who died by suicide.
I wear gold beads in honor of my father who died by suicide.
My name is Malaya. I'm from Billings, and I wear green for my personal struggle.
I'm Desi Kozad, and I have struggled with depression and suicidal ideation since I was a teenager. I wear green beads for my personal struggle.
My name's Tammy Beach. I wear red beads in honor of my husband Mike, who died by suicide May 3rd, 2006. He was 24 years old.
I wear teal for my son who struggles.
I wear silver beads to honor my brothers and sisters in the military who died by suicide.
Hi, I'm Birdie Heath, and I'm wearing this white set of beads in honor of my son, who I lost 2 years ago.
My name is Robin, and I'm from Billings. I do the walk with my daughter Miracle, who died November 17, 2018.
I'm Nancy Yates. I wear white beads in honor of my son Zach, who died by suicide on September 16, 2011. He was 20 years old.
I'm Pastor Pat Lewis with Billings First United Methodist Church. This is my wife Kim, and we walk in support of all who are struggling with thoughts of suicide and those who have completed it.
I wear blue because I'm a nurse and I support the cause.
Thank you again to everyone who shared photos we were able to use today. We welcome anyone. If you would still like to share your photos from one of the meetups you attended in the community, or if you enjoying your experience, we would love to add them to our online photo album. Just share them to social media using one of the following hashtags. Hashtag OOTD Montana, hashtag AFSPMT, hashtag Stop Suicide Montana, or you can email them to klevine@afsp.org. Either way, we'll add them to our online photo album for this year's experience. Next, we'd like to take a couple of minutes to join in a community act of remembrance. You're invited to take part in an activity of your choosing, whether it's lighting a candle, writing down or saying a few words to your loved ones, writing or saying a message of hope, playing a meaningful song, an intentional breathing exercise, or whatever resonates most with you. I'd like to welcome one of our Bozeman Walk Chairs, Tracy Rassley, who will be reading a poem and lighting a candle in honor of her son, Patrick. Once the candles are lit, we'll observe a moment of silence on the stream.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be joining you here today. I'd like to read a poem by Deborah Robinson entitled, A Picture of You. I only have a picture now, a frozen piece of time, to remind me of how it was when you were here and mine. I see your smiling eyes each morning when I wake. I talk to you and place a kiss upon your lovely face. How much I miss you being here, I really cannot say. The ache is deep inside my heart and never goes away. I hear it mentioned often that time will heal the pain, but if I'm being honest, I hope it will remain. I need to feel you constantly to get me through the day. I loved you so very much. Why did you go away? The angels came and took you. That really wasn't fair. They took my one and only son, my future life, my heir. If only they had asked me if I would take your place, I would have done so willingly, leaving you this world to grace. You should have had so many years to watch your life unfold, and in the midst of this, watch me, your mom, grow old. I hope you're watching from above at the daily tasks I do, and let there be no doubt at all, I really do love you. I'd like to light a candle in the name of my son, and for those we have all lost to suicide, and for those that struggle that we hope to save.
Thank you, Tracy, for that lovely moment. We embrace you and greatly appreciate all that you do. I'd like to take a moment now to offer some thanks to our community. Thank you to the following sponsors who generously donate $2,500 and above to one of our community events. Providence, Austin Martell Memorial Mudbog and Tough Truck Event, Siboney Stillwater, St. Vincent Healthcare, and Walmart. I also want to thank to our volunteers and committee members and to our awesome walk chairs who made our mini events around Montana possible, and as well, of course, to our fundraisers. As of this morning, the total raised from all of our experiences statewide has reached over $190,000. We cannot thank you enough for this overwhelming support. Please remember you can continue to donate and raise funds until December 31st, and we'd love to see this event grow. I'd like to now invite one of our wonderful event co-chairs, Erin Bratsky, to offer an acknowledgement to our top fundraising teams.
Thanks, Katie. 2020 has been a crazy time for us all, and we're continually humbled and amazed by all the dedicated participants who stepped up and continued to raise funds for this important cause. We'd like to take a moment to recognize our top teams across Montana that raised $2,000 or more. Please note, these fundraising totals were calculated Friday, October 2nd at noon. Project Tomorrow, Missoula, $2,245. Team Frog, Bozeman, $2,295. Sign Solutions, Bozeman, $2,328. Team Red Rock, Flathead Valley, $3,385. Team Kyle, Yellowstone Valley, $3,855. Team Live, Yellowstone Valley, $3,910. Providence St. Patrick Hospital, Missoula, $4,045. Team Zach, Missoula, $4,745. Walking in His Light, Yellowstone Valley, $4,759. Matt's Corner, Bozeman, $6,071. Taking Steps to Save Lives, Yellowstone Valley, $7,662. And our top fundraising team, Team Casey, Missoula, $11,620. We'd also like to give a special recognition to Tom Addard of the Missoula Experience. Tom not only raised over $4,000 as an individual, but in the 24 hours leading up to the Missoula Experience, ran 100 miles in recognition of suicide prevention. Thank you again to all our top fundraisers. I'll pass it back to you, Katie.
Thank you so very much, Erin. And again, thank you to everyone for your hard work at fundraising. Year after year, we are just amazed. And as a reminder, for those who purchased raffle tickets or bid on an online auction item, you should have received an email by this morning letting you know if you won or not. If you have any questions or have not received an email, please contact me at the email address below. Next, we'll hear from AFSP's Chief Medical Officer, Christine Moutier, to share her message of hope.
This is Christine Moutier, Chief Medical Officer at AFSP, and I hope for a day when there is no shame or stigma associated with any type of mental health experience, so that we can live our true, authentic selves in the world around us.
Like Christine, we are all hopeful for the day when the stigma around mental health and suicide are brought out of the darkness. As our community continues to walk that path, we want you to remember you are not alone. Right now, it's important more than ever that we pay attention to and take care of our own and others' physical and mental well-being. I hope you are all taking care of yourselves, checking in with family and friends, and finding ways to stay active during this time. Our hopes and thoughts are out to all. If you know someone who is struggling, please remember these numbers and add them to your phones. The Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255, and 741-741 is the number for the crisis text line. You can text the word MT to, again, 741-741. Plus, we are excited that the new 3-digit 988 number was approved by the FCC and will be coming soon. It is with the help of dedicated volunteers that these great advances are happening. In September, one of Montana's volunteers, Jennifer Preble, was honored with AFSP's Sandy Martin Grassroots Award, which was presented to her a few weeks ago by Representative Mary Ann Dunwell. We wanted to share this special moment with all of you.
Today we have the honor of recognizing a champion for mental health and suicide prevention and a true unsung hero, Jennifer Preble. We're here on behalf of AFSP, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Montana chapter. I'm Dory Wilmoth, and I'm the chair of the Montana chapter for AFSP, and I'm joined today by Jennifer, who's receiving our award, and by Representative Marianne Dunwell. Jen, we're honored to present this award to you for your leadership and impact as suicide prevention advocate on the national level and across the state of Montana. Jen is the recipient of the 2020 Sandy Martin Grassroots Field Advocate of the Year Award. And to give you a little more background on Jen, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica Hegstrom.
My name is Jess Hegstrom, and I am the Suicide Prevention Coordinator for Lewis and Clark Public Health. I've also been a volunteer for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for several years with Jen Preble. So I'm going to say a few nice words about Jen because she's a really wonderful advocate in our community. As chair of the Montana Chapter Public Policy and Advocacy Committee, you work tirelessly as a voice for mental health and suicide prevention. As a member of the AFSP National Public Policy Council, you shared your knowledge and expertise as a licensed clinical social worker and positively influenced the council's efforts. You are passionate about improving the healthcare system and increasing access for those who struggle with their mental health and are a true embodiment of AFSP's mission to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide. Thank you.
And I'm Montana State Representative Marianne Dunwell. We are actually here in front of the state capitol building where a lot of the legislation that Jennifer Preble worked on with many of us moved through and was passed. We are so pleased to present this award to Jennifer Preble. And please know that AFSP and the state of Montana appreciate all you have done, Jennifer, and continue to do for the cause of suicide prevention and mental health wellness. We are honored to work alongside of you as partners and colleagues and admire your advocacy. Jennifer Preble, I present you with the 2020 Sandy Martin Grassroots Field Advocate of the Year Award.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Dunwell, Dory, Jess, and all of Montana, everybody, family, friends, advocates across the state and the nation for your support and recognition of this very special award. It's truly an honor. I'm shocked and have avoided this moment for as long as I possibly could. So I am very pleased, very humbled, and I look forward to many more opportunities to work alongside state representatives and senators with future suicide prevention bills. Specifically, the work in the last couple of years, we've looked to increase suicide prevention funding across the state and the nation. We've been successful in passing a requirement for all behavioral health professionals in the state of Montana to engage and learn and assess suicide prevention with the requirement of continuing education credits. We've also been successful with implementing mobile crisis units across the state as a pilot study. I look forward to many more opportunities. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
So, thank you, Jennifer Preble, on behalf of AFSP and all of Montana for your hard work and advocacy for suicide prevention. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, we're coming to a close. Before we end our program with some highlights of the Montana experience and go our ways until next year, please check in with the people around you, especially if you notice that something may be wrong or their behavior has changed. Avoid rushing to judgment and instead ask to have a real open conversation with them. Lead with open-ended questions. Let them know that you are available to listen and to help. Ask them directly if they are thinking about suicide. This can be a difficult thing to do, but being direct provides an opportunity for them to open up and talk and feel. Again, until next year, be safe, open, and keep talking.